Welcome back to the channel, Trophy family. How is everyone doing today on this fantastic Sunday? It is again freezing cold here in Australia today, so I've been indoors all day playing video games. But that's not what we're here for. Well, we're kind of here for video games, but we're here for the Platinum Trophy Show, your weekly installment of trophy news and goodness. Let us start the show. Alright guys, welcome back to the Platinum Trophy Show, your weekly trophy news show where we take a look at all the trophy stuff that happened this week. Primarily this has been focused around PSN profiles and looking at all the new trophies that appear on PSN profiles, but I'm going to continue to expand that into broader just trophy everything so we can make it kind of a one-stop shop for all trophy things. We had a pretty slow week again on PSN profiles this week. We had a couple of new releases pop up, but nothing really amazing, nothing that we didn't really know about already. To kick off, one thing I did want to add into this show is server shutdowns, because it's really important that everyone stays up to date on the latest server shutdowns and what are happening there. You don't want to be stuck not being able to obtain a trophy in a game because the servers have gone offline and you weren't aware of it. So I want to try and keep an eye on this from time to time as well. This is a thread on PlayStationTrophies.org where people track the upcoming server shutdown. So as you can see here, this is everything that's been confirmed as an upcoming server shutdown across all the publishers and all the different types of games that are out. You can also click on these specific links here, which show all the specific publishers and those server shutdowns. So I used to have the Sony one bookmarked and I would check it almost every week, but a lot of the PS3 games have been turned off now, so I don't need to check it quite as frequently. But as you can see here, Dark Eclipse for PlayStation VR is shutting down in the middle of June next month. SingStar servers all closed down at the beginning of the year, and Drive Club closed down at the end of March. So those are the main ones from PlayStation at the moment, but here you can see a ton of other stuff that you might not be aware of, so it's always worth checking out. To be honest, at the moment there's really nothing in here that I would say needs to be specifically called out. A lot of it's around, like you can see, NBA and PES and things, your kind of annualized releases which are being shut down, but nothing kind of crazy. So yeah, that's your server shutdowns. Let's take a look at all the games that came out this week. We kind of got somewhere down here last time. So first of all, we're going to take a look at Mafia II Definitive Edition. Now, I do have a trophy roadmap for this game on the channel. I'll post it in the description down below. So if you're interested in a roadmap for that game, check out the roadmap down below. It will kind of cover everything you need to know about the trophies in this game. But essentially, the trophies are the same as the PS3 version of the game. There's been no fundamental changes to the trophies per se, except one specific trophy is unobtainable at the moment, and that is the Enforcer trophy. This trophy is for killing 50 enemies, so it's a really basic and simple trophy to unlock, but unfortunately it's glitched, and we're still waiting for the developers to confirm whether or not they're going to patch it. Because it's such a big title, Mafia, I assume they will, but we still don't have information about that yet. So hoping that we'll know about that in the coming days. It's interesting because the Enforcer trophy was actually glitched on the Xbox 360 and PS3 release of Mafia 2 when it came out back in 2010 as well. I remember playing it and having that problem on the 360. So it seems like they've just carried a bug across from those versions of the game and haven't repaired it, which kind of sucks, to be honest. The other trophy that's worth mentioning in here as well is Card Sharp. Now, Card Sharp is for finding all the wanted posters. In the original Mafia game, the wanted posters was arguably the worst part of the game. It kind of sucked. And in this one here, they've decided to add an additional 30 wanted posters to the game. I have no idea why, I have no idea what they were thinking or what that is even about, but apparently that's something the developers thought they needed to do. It's a real shame that they did that. It's just, it adds more tedium to the trophies, and like I said, it was, if you ask anyone what they disliked the most about Mafia 2, it was collecting the wanted posters around the world. So I have no idea why they thought that was necessary. Anyway, they're here. Fortunately, though, people have found them, and there are some guides online for them. So if you're after those additional 30 wanted posters, because they're not visible in any of the PS3 or 360 guides, then you can check out some of the walkthroughs there. If you guys really want me to make a walkthrough, I can, but there are some already available online. Walkthroughs, collectible walkthroughs probably aren't my forte per se, but if people really want it, I'm happy to do it. So that's Mafia 2. The only other thing about Mafia 2 is that the port is just a very bad port of the game, unfortunately. The quality of the game isn't very good. There's syncing issues with cutscenes. The frame rate apparently dips significantly. I can't tell when frame rates dip that well. I'm not a framophile, but people have been complaining about frame rates dipping, and also the just graphics in the game just being poor and subpar. It's a real shame because Mafia 2 is a fantastic game, and it sucks that this is the treatment it's been given. Next up, I want to talk about Crypto by Palgi. So this is another stack for Crypto, which is a game that Palgi released, I think, last month. This is the Asian version, so if you're after another Platinum, you can get another easy Palgi Platinum. Do we have a guide for this to see how long this takes? Maybe in the North American version we can find one? No, there's not one here. Palgi games generally only an hour or two anyway, so they're basic word games if you're not familiar. Palgi is a publisher or a developer who releases just a ton of word games. You can see here, if you search by series, we can see all the different Palgi games that have been released. And there is a lot of them. I have not actually played a lot of them, if I'm being honest. I've only played one Palgi game, and I really didn't enjoy it that much, so that's probably why I haven't played anymore. But if you're after some easy Platinums, I mean, you can get 69 easy Platinums out of just Palgi games. Worth keeping in mind. Now, exciting news this week is that we got this little boy here, Bioshock Remastered, popped up on PSN profiles this week. So what on earth does this mean? Bioshock, Bioshock 2 and Bioshock Infinite all came out on PS4 a number of years ago now as part of the Bioshock collection, which has a trophy list as well on PS4 and Xbox One. And these have just popped up. So what we're speculating here is that 2K have decided to re-release Bioshock and Bioshock 2 Remastered as individual games separate from the collection. So Bioshock collection is still purchasable, and that includes all three titles. However, the way it kind of works in terms of the back-end server is that Bioshock 1 and 2 are kind of paired together, and Bioshock Infinite is paired separately. Trophy lists are all still separate, but the way the SKUs kind of work in the back end of the PSN, 1 and 2 are always joined together and Infinite separate. Same with the discs, which for the physical version, I think it's like under a pile of stuff over there, so I'm not going to get it. But the two discs are Bioshock 1 and 2 and then Bioshock Infinite as well. So my assumption here is that all they're doing is re-releasing Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2 as separate releases. But in doing so, you're potentially getting 2 brand new trophy lists for each of those games, which is incredible. It's like this will be the third stack of Bioshock that we could potentially get after the PS3 version and now the PS3 version, the collection, and now this remastered version. The game itself will be literally exactly the same. It will just be a re-release of that game. This has been done before by publishers. So you'll remember that Uncharted collection came out as the Nathan Drake collection on PS4, and it later got re-released as 3 separate titles, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, all as separate games. Now, the trophy lists for those didn't actually change. They just kept the same trophy list. But before those got re-released, there was no actual way to purchase those games separately. They all came as part of a collection or trilogy. So this is kind of, I guess, their way of doing that. I have no idea why it creates an additional trophy list. It is unusual. I don't really know too many instances where this has occurred. However, I don't think it's impossible what I'm theorizing here. I think this is exactly what the situation is. 2K probably wants to get a little bit more money out of the franchise, and I would assume these aren't going to be announced and released or anything like that. They'll just pop up on the PlayStation Store probably next week. My guess is that the Nintendo Switch versions of the games are coming out on the 29th of May, which is Friday this week. So my guess would be that these will probably be released on the PlayStation Store Friday this week as well with those new trophy lists, but I don't expect you'll see any announcements or anything like that for either of these titles. And we have them for Bioshock 2 and for the original Bioshock, and they also have regional re-releases as well. By the looks of it, we have a North American and EU version of the game being released, which is not that abnormal today. The other game that we had come out this week was Saints Row the Third Remastered. I do also have a trophy roadmap video for this on the channel. I'll link it in the description below as well so you guys can check that one out. But this is another Platinum that you're probably going to be familiar with. The game is really, really straightforward. You got to play through the game I mean, technically play through the game twice, but if you make some creative save files, you only have to play through the game once, save at 2 particular missions, and you can unlock all the trophies by doing that. There has been some glitches in the game, so it's worth mentioning that people have been saying some of the trophies have been glitching and not unlocking, especially if your network settings get disconnected while you're playing the game. So if you have any issues with unlocking trophies, it's probably because your network's gone down. Make sure you're connected to PSN. I have no idea why this is happening. I've never experienced this before, but it's apparently what people are saying. People are also saying, don't put your console into rest mode if you're playing the game, because that also causes trophies to just stop unlocking. So make sure that you close the game completely and then boot it back up completely when you want to start playing it again. It's a really weird one. I don't understand why this is happening. To be ultra safe, what I would recommend doing is making sure that every time you save the game, save it as a separate save file, so that if something happens and the trophies don't unlock, you can reload an earlier save and you won't lose tons and tons of progress. And that's probably all I can suggest at the moment. Otherwise, the remaster of this game is fantastic. The graphics look really good. The quality is really good. The music is really good. I haven't got any major complaints about it. I'm really enjoying it. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's something worth mentioning though in trophy news. But yeah, Saints Row the Third Remastered is a solid experience. We had Man-Eater's trophies go live on the servers, and the game actually came out as well. I've checked this one out too. The game is interesting. It's a lot of fun. However, there is a lot of repetition in there, and the trophies do become very repetitive. If you're going for the platinum for this one, it is going to be grindy, but it's not going to be a super difficult platinum. I talked about this one a little bit on the drop for last week when we had a look at the trophies or achievements at the time. But as you can see here, we've got 1,000 owners and we have 100 completed, and this has only been 2 days for the game being out, so it's not a super hard plat. Let's order these by the most difficult, but I can already tell you it's going to be for reaching 100% objective completion in all regions. So that's 100% in the game essentially, collecting all the different sharks that are available to you, and then finding a bunch of different collectibles. So that's Man-Eater. I am looking to have a guide up for that one, a roadmap guide up for that one later in the week. Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, I should have played enough of that game to be able to put that up. So look out for that one. This is something we talked about on the drop a couple of weeks ago. Superhero X. I don't know what the story is with this one. I didn't see it come out in Europe. I'm thinking it's only a North American release, but there's a ton of gold trophies in here. No one's actually got the platinum yet. Only one person is playing the game. Yeah, but it looks like these are all golds, which is always an alarm bell for me. Might be worth checking out, guys. I'm not 100% sure though. These all say unlock particular power-up, so it could be like dirt easy, or it could... Now there was one other game I wanted to talk about this week, and that was this one here, Whiteboiz Wit Attitude: The Pursuit of Money. And this, I don't even know where to begin on this one. It's a free game on the European and the North American store. Potentially you can get a stack of it on both. It doesn't have a platinum, but it does have some really easy trophies. This one here is only going to take you like 20 minutes and you can get 100% of the trophies. There's a guide up here. I don't know if I'm going to make a guide for this one. I might do a video separate to this where I talk about like the game, just so that, I don't know, we can give it a bit of attention because it's a free game and it's got some free easy trophies. But I don't know if a guide is completely necessary for it because there's already a ton of guides online for this one now. But yeah, 3 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 1 hour difficulty. Essentially, like, you've got to play 2 different mini games. One where they're singing and you have to shake the controller like this, really hard, non-stop for like 3 minutes, and you unlock some trophies there. Another one where you're basically like driving a car as a side scroller and you've got to dodge all the obstacles, and that's it. You've got to just complete those 2 games with a high score and you'll unlock all the other trophies. I think there's like one for hitting an animal or something when you're dodging them, which you'll probably get naturally anyway, and that's basically it. Like, it's some free easy free easy trophies if you're into them. I have no idea though. It's weird like that a game like this can be released on the PlayStation Store. I don't know how this even happens. It means that maybe one day we can make a platinum trophy game and we can get it up on the store with a platinum trophy that's like dirt easy. I don't know. Like, if anyone can do it, then I don't see why it couldn't be a pipe dream one day, right? I'll tell you what. I'll put a stake in the ground right now. If we get this channel to Let's say we get it to 10,000 subscribers. I'll investigate how difficult it is to create a game with easy trophies to get put up on PSN and see how that works. I don't know. Maybe it's super, super easy and I'm missing a beat there. But that's basically it. That's all the trophy news that's happened this week. You've seen the drop. There's not a ton of really awesome games coming out next week. There's one thing that I'm really curious. It's Those Who Remain, which looks like a first-person mystery horror type game. Gave me some like Alan Wakey, Silent Hill vibes. Deadly Premonition kind of vibes, but first person. I'm very, very curious about that. I actually emailed the devs of the game to get some more information about it, but I haven't heard anything back yet. So hopefully we do. If not, I'll look at covering that when it comes out later in the week as well. But yeah, that's all the trophy news for this week. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if there was anything that I missed, or if there was anything else you wanted me to cover in trophy news each week as well on the Platinum Trophy Show. Otherwise, hopefully you guys have a fantastic week with the games. I know a lot of you are probably bummed about Mafia and about Saints Row as well, having glitch trophies. It is a real pain, but I'm confident Saints Row will fix them, and 2K are a big enough publisher that they should fix them for Mafia as well. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, alright guys, I am going to sign things off there. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys are playing at the moment. Let me know if you're going to be playing anything from this episode, or if anything's impacted you from this episode, because I'm really curious to find out. Let me know if you like this format as well. I've changed things up slightly to try and keep it more engaging and interesting. It's not just trophy list, trophy list, trophy list. It's more news oriented. If you did enjoy this video, then give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then I don't know what you guys are doing. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. The more subscribers we get, the bigger this family grows. That's all there is to it. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic week in trophy hunting, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye for now.